when it's, yeah, it will. Right, thank you.
I'll just tell you when the live streaming starts now, Chair. It won't be a second.
Okay.
Live streaming, Chair.
Right, good morning, everybody. This is the licensing meeting for the 7th of January 2026. It's for a variation of hours at the Bluebell in Buckley.
Blue Anchor.
Sorry, the Blue Anchor in Buckley. Right, I am Councillor Robert Davis. I'll be chairing. I have two colleagues on the subcommittee, Councillor Ron Davis and Councillor Rosetta Dolphin. We have also in attendance, we will have Maureen Potter, who is our facilitator. We have James Lowe, our licensing officer. We have Rachel Hughes, our solicitor, Flinty County Council solicitor, sorry. Catherine Ravenscroft, have I got that right? Yeah.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, she's our barrister, the Flinty County Council barrister. Licence holder, Lee. Is Lee here? No, can't. No. On behalf of Marston's. Oh, accompanied by Zoe Blythe. Are you representing both?
No, I'm here. I'm still here.
So, yeah, so Malcolm's the licensee, I'm the area manager, and Lee from John wants to be on, but I'm not sure whether he is.
My paperwork has told me it's Lee Shelvis.
Yes, he's from John
Gaunt and Partners and Marston's.
Yeah, so has he not managed to join?
He's there now. I can see him now.
Oh, okay, got him now. Okay,
right,
lovely.
Thank you. We have Pollution Control Officer Neil Shellard. Interested parties, Peter Pomeroy, who will be assisted by his daughter, Mrs. Emma Round. Have I covered everybody? Yeah, I think we have on that one. Right, if we can ensure microphones are switched off, unless asked to ask questions. Keep background noise to an absolute minimum. I will call the speakers and with elected members addressed as councillor and officer addressed in their job title. This meeting will be live streamed and recording of the meeting will also be available shortly after the meeting. Sorry? Who's that then? Sorry. Someone wishing to speak then, sorry? No? Right, okay. Right, we'll start the meeting officially. One, apologies. No apologies. No. Declarations of interest? No. Right. The agenda item number 3 is for members to consider.
Sorry to interrupt, Robert. Sorry to interrupt. Lee's message saying he can't hear the meeting. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's very important that he's able to hear. I'm not sure whether he can rejoin or something. I'm just messaging him now.
Could you advise on that, Maureen?
Yes. Juice Chair, I didn't. Lee, I've got you on twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that he's on twice. You need to take one down.
I'm messaging in this as we speak. Sorry, just bear with us.
He was able to speak then. Dear me. Right.
Sorry, everyone. I'm just asking him if he can join from a different device, maybe. So
Yeah.
that works.
He's already on once. His name's up here.
Mm.
There we go.
Right. Can you hear us now? Now you're on mute.
You're on mute, Lee. Could you confirm that you can hear and see?
Can you signal if you can hear us? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I'm messaging him, asking if he can hear it. He's not responding.
Hello, hear me all right?
Right. So you can hear us.
Me too. Sorry.
Technology, eh?
Yes, we're in. Apologies, everybody, but we've got issues with Zoom in terms of our department. But I'm
Right.
in. I'm
We're ready to go
apologising.
now. We've already started.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay. If you can put it on mute, please, Lee. Thank you. Right. Where were we? Right. James, our licensing officer, Flintshire County Council licensing officer, James Lowe, can you read through the report for us, please?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. So we're here for members to consider and determine a variation of premises license application following receipt of representations by a responsible authority and a member of the public. The premises concerned is the Blue Anchor, located at 153 Mould Road, Buckley, and its location can be seen in Appendix A. And the applicant is Marston's PLC. The application is to vary an existing premises licence, which has been held by Marston's for over 10 years. The applicant has applied 53 Mould Road, Buckley, and its location can be seen in Appendix A.
Yeah.
And the applicant is Marston's PLC. Sorry, Maureen, I don't know if the applicant has applied 53 Mould Road, Buckley, and its location can be seen in Appendix. Sorry, Maureen, there's a problem with my audio. I keep getting what I'm saying is being repeated through the system. I don't know if everyone else is getting that.
Mine's clear.
I was getting the same, James.
You were getting what I was saying over and again. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It seems to have sorted itself out now. Right, I'll crack on. Hopefully the bugs of
Right, okay.
gremlins have gone away. So we'll crack on. Hope for the best. So the applicant has applied to vary the license to extend hours for live music and recorded music and entertainment of a similar description, as well as adding late night refreshment to the license. And this can be seen in Appendix B. These activities would end at 11:30 Monday to Thursday and 1 a.m. on a Friday and Saturday. Currently, live and recorded music ends at 11 o'clock, and there is a typo here. This should read Monday to Saturday and 10:30 on a Sunday. And entertainment of a similar description ends at 11 o'clock, other than on a Friday and Saturday when it ends at 11:30. A number of non-standard timings have also been applied for, which can be seen on page 18 in the application pack. There's 4 of these. The first one is to extend hours to cover New Year, so that would cover from New Year's Eve at 10 o'clock in the morning through till 1 a.m. on the 2nd. The second is to permit the premises to open for national and international sporting events which take place beyond the normal licensing hours, and that would be with 7 days notice to the police. The third one is to permit sales to residents and their bona fide guests 24 hours a day. And the final one is to extend permitted hours to accommodate for the change going into British summertime. So that'll be an hour extension. So 2 representations have been received, one from a local resident and the other from Flintshire County Council's Pollution Control Section. And these are shown in Appendix C and Appendix D. And to conclude the report, I can confirm that the application was advertised in the correct manner.
Right, thank you for that, James. I think I need to bring in, where are we? Catherine Ravenscroft.
Yes, Chair.
To explain for us the pictures that we received late yesterday.
Yes, thank you. As a preliminary issue, Chair, you and the councillors will need to decide whether the pictures received during the email yesterday, 4 images, which are till receipts of the close and opening of trading from the 2nd of December until the 4th of December. You'll need to decide whether you omit those and allow the applicant to speak to those. The reason for that being a preliminary issue goes to your subcommittee procedure, which says at paragraph 8.10 that as a matter of good practice, documentation produced in advance of the hearing should be produced no later than 2 days before the hearing. Yeah. And failure to comply with that rule may result in the documentation being deemed to have been produced at the hearing, requiring the consent of all parties or the chairman.
Right. Thank you for that, Catherine. I'd like to consult with my 2 colleagues on the subcommittee. What are your feelings on this? I feel like there'd be I'm a stickler for keeping to me notes and are me do's and don'ts. So I don't think it should be put forward, to be honest. But it's entirely your choice. I'm just asking what your thoughts are.
I'd agree with you there, Chair.
Right, thank you.
So will I agree, Chair, and we have to follow the proper procedure.
Right, thank you very much. So, thanks for that. Catherine, I think we will not be accepting them as, would it be called evidence or just information?
Information to support the representations, Chair.
Yeah, we will not be accepting them. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yes, I'll record that.
Right, okay, thank you. Right. If we could carry on now to... Right, the applicants and responsible authorities will now be asked to, or be invited, sorry, to make their representations. I'd like to invite first Marsden's Pub Company, their representative. Would you like to speak on this?
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, committee. Yes, I would.
Right.
And so, so my name is Lee. I'm from John Gorton Partners, and I represent Marsden's PLC, who's the applicant in this application. So the application is submitted by Marsden's PLC, which is effectively to vary the premises license for the hours and following activities, primarily in terms of performance of live music, recorded music, and also entertainment of a similar description. The application looking to vary the licensable activities as follows to effectively mirror what is already there in terms of alcohol. So that would be Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. until 11:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. until 1 a.m., and then Sunday, 11 a.m. until 11:30. There's also an inclusion as well of late night refreshment, which is to do with 11 a.m. until 11:30. So, sorry, 11 p.m. until 11:30, Monday to Thursday, 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday, and then also 11 p.m. until 11:30 on the Sunday. In terms of the non-standard timings as well, they've been added in to effectively accommodate that in terms of the late nights on New Year's Eve and events of that nature as well. In terms of this application, it's relatively straightforward. It's an application which is effectively levying up the licensable activities so that they all mirror each other under the license and mirror the hours that are already permitted for the sale of alcohol. Within my presentation, Chair, I'm going to make reference to the Act, which is a reference to the Licensing Act 2003, a reference to the Section 182 guidance, which is the guidance which is issued under the Licensing Act, and also as well the newly produced National Licensing Framework Policy, which was government issued in November of last year. In terms of the applicant itself, the applicant is Marsden's PLC. It's a national pub operator which has around 1,400 sites across England, Scotland, and Wales. It's a leader in the pub space sector and a renowned employer. The premises license holder, since our record, since we've been instructed by Marsden's, has not undergone any enforcement action. So this is since the 10th of June 2014, has never been subject to a review, and has never been subject of any enforcement action taken by the responsible authorities. The applicant works well with the responsible authorities and also in terms of the community as well. As an employer, it heavily invests in its staff and retailer training. And when a premises is taken on, there's a 5-day induction training process, which includes licensing and management of the training is done by an online platform, which they call Compass, which all staff are subject to as well. In terms of the DPS, who is joining me today, Mr. Malcolm John Devereux, he's been a personal license holder since 2006. He's been involved in hospitality venues since 2006, such venues being pubs, hotels, and also being involved heavily with the Tranmere Rovers Football Club. When he was at the Tranmere Rovers Football Club, he was the bar manager who oversaw 9 bars. He became the DPS on the 14th of November 2024 and was also a joint retailer. He's since taken on the premises solely by himself and has run that premises up until for the last 18 months or so on a sole basis. As he's been the DPS at the premises, there's been no enforcement action taken against it. No license has been revoked in any of the.
You're frozen. Lee, your system is frozen. Right, I don't know where to carry on from here. Gone off altogether now. Right.
He said it's just Zoom's just completely shut on him. It just completely shut down, so he's just going to try and rejoin.
Right. Where's he coming from?
I'm not sure where he's based. I think probably over in Yorkshire.
Or Wolverhampton.
Hopefully he'll try to rejoin, Chair.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Maureen.
Says it's rebooting now, so hopefully it won't be a minute.
Nice. For anybody who's watching, I'm very sorry about this. I'm just having technical problems.
He sends his apologies. He's trying his best.
Thank you, Zoe. Communication is key.
I can't even use Zoom on my work devices. It's blocked. I think because it causes so many issues.
It's for what it costs for us, for especially large companies to have this system in place. You think they'd sort it out, wouldn't you?
It'd be better, yeah.
It's me. Zoe, did you say his whole system had gone down?
I think it was just Zoom.
Just Zoom.
Just completely shut on him.
Well, this is an unusual situation.
Can I ask, Chair,
Yeah.
If he can't rejoin, do we have the information that we need anyway?
On the hours we have, They've already been given, and they are in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be discourteous and just carry on without him. Or without letting him know some way.
He's just messaging me now. Just see him typing. It says he should be back on in a couple of minutes. So if you can just bear with for a couple more minutes, that'd be great.
Yeah. If anybody needs a break, take one now. We'll shout loud.
We'll make a coffee.
Yeah, why not?
Chair, could we ask Catherine Ravenscroft if it's okay to carry on without it if the problem persists?
Yeah, Catherine, could you advise on that, please?
Yes, Chair. In your subcommittee procedure,
Yeah.
Section 4 deals with the right of attendance and representation, and Section 4.1 says that a party may attend the hearing and may be assisted or represented by any person,
Yeah.
whether or not that person is legally qualified. So we would have to seek the views of the licence holder as to his application, whether he feels that he can continue without his representation, whether he wants to represent himself.
I would suggest we need to wait. I think Malcolm will probably agree with that we need to wait for Lee.
Well, like I'm a bit confused with who they call the licence holder. We've got down, my paperwork is telling me the licence holder is Lee.
No, so Lee is our representative. He's our legal representative. Marston's PLC is the premise.
My paperwork says licence holder.
Yeah, no, he represents the licence holder, but Marston's PLC is the licence holder.
So Marston's right,
and
okay.
Malcolm's the DPS.
Well, it wouldn't be fair on Malcolm really to put him on the spot in this situation. So
yeah, I mean, I could obviously speak, but he's a legal representative for a reason, you know. So
exactly, yeah, yeah.
He says he's on his way.
Right, okay.
Almost there.
Chair,
Yeah.
Lee has just joined. He's in the waiting room. He's just rejoined the meeting. I'm just going to admit him now.
Great. Thank you very much, Maureen.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Keep your fingers crossed as you're talking.
Yes, I will do. Excellent.
Okay.
Right. So I'll go from where I'm talking about DPS. There's no enforcement action taken against his personal license, and is supported by regular customers and his local community.
Sorry, can you just repeat that one?
Sorry. There's been no enforcement action taken against his personal license, and also he's supported by a regular customer base and the local community.
For this variation.
Yeah, well, just in general, just the premises are supported by the community in general.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Excuse me. In terms of this premises, he has successfully. So they've successfully executed 3 temporary event notices, and the dates of these temporary event notices are as follows: the 14th of November 2025, the 21st of November 2025, and the 1st of January 2026, New Year's Eve. And all 3 of these temporary event notices are for similar, if not the same, hours that have been requested as part of this application. None of these temporary event notices were objected to by the relevant authorities, and the authorities being the environmental health officers or the police, and were all permitted to proceed on the terms submitted. There's been no enforcement action taken against those temporary event notices. And this is evidence of promotion of the licensing objectives for this type of application on 3 occasions, which includes the hours requested or very similar to those requested in this application. In terms of what this means to this application. Well, it's quite simple. Under paragraph 9.44 of the section 182 guidance, licensing authorities are expected to come to its determination based on an assessment of evidence on both the risks and the benefits, either for or against a determination. This basically highlights to this licensing subcommittee that this is an evidence-based exercise as to whether or not to grant the application or not. There's also case law as well, where magistrates' courts were heavily criticised in the case of Daniel Thwaites PLC and Wirra Borough Magistrates' Court, where they proceeded to determine a matter without proper evidence and gave their own views excessive weight. Also, your national licensing policy framework, which has been government issued towards the back end of last year, which was issued towards hospitality and leisure sectors, recognises the importance of the promotion of the licensing objectives, but goes slightly further and says licensing must support broader ambitions business investment, growth, high street revival, businesses supporting rural communities, festivals, events, local jobs, and community cohesion. Also states that licensing decisions should be based on clear, relevant evidence that is proportionate to the risks which have been identified. Furthermore, under section 9.11 and 9.12 of the 182 guidance talks about the roles of the responsible authorities, specifically their title or their regard towards expert evidence. In this application, save for the environmental health officer, there's been no other representations made by any of the other responsible authorities. That includes your fire authority, police, safeguarding, licensing itself have not objected to this application. And we would invite this subcommittee to place significant weight on the basis that, save for one, all of the responsible authorities have not seen any issue with this application or the ability of the applicant to promote the licensing objectives. Turning to the environmental health officer's representation, they state in their representation, allegations of noise nuisance caused by loud music emanating from the premises. This investigation is ongoing, but clearly and crucially, no evidence has been obtained to prove that a statutory nuisance does exist. Again, I would refer the committee back to paragraph 9.44 of the 182 guidance, which indicates to licensing subcommittees that this is an evidence-based exercise. And the EHO has confirmed that there's been no evidence of a nuisance being caused from the premises, and they have an ongoing investigation going. That was an objection that was submitted during the consultation period. We are now in the new year, up to a hearing, and still no further evidence, or no evidence, I should say, has been submitted to support any noise incidences or issues from the premises, or the fact that the premises cannot promote the licensing objectives. This process is evidence-based, and it is not effectively a case of putting a representation on the hope that evidence will produce itself throughout the consultation period. There's also been a local resident objection to this one. The resident goes by the name of a gentleman called Peter. And Peter, in his representation, claims that on the 3rd of December, he complained of noise from from between 2 a.m. until 5:30 a.m. In response to this, the premises will state there is no evidence to suggest linking this noise to the premises. On the morning of the 3rd of December, trading ceased. So on the morning of the 3rd of December, trading ceased well before that, and also the final transactions for those dates are 11 o'clock and before the final day. The next day, trading didn't commence until well into the afternoon. Neither the DPS nor members of his family or any other customers were in the premises between 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. on the 3rd of December. Trading from the previous evening had closed, and trading for the next trading day had not even commenced yet. This objection appears to be from a member of a family who fired from the premises some time ago. and there has been no evidence to support this, and also the fact that any nuisance that he has recorded has been returned by the environmental health officer. There's no evidence to support any of the allegations of nuisance from the premises, and the applicant, or the applicant or the DPS's ability to promote the licensing objectives. Contrary to this, the applicant can produce clear, unrefuted evidence that on 3 occasions they can promote the licensing objectives without allegations of any nuisance or noise or anything else to suggest otherwise, to the hours that they have requested on the application or to hours that are very similar to that. In terms of your 182 guidance again, I refer to paragraph 1.5 this time, which basically says that licensing authorities are encouraged to encourage innovation and supporting responsible premises. Each application must be considered on its own merits and in accordance with the licensing authority's statement of licensing policy. It is essential that licensing authorities avoid the imposition of disproportionate and overly burdensome conditions on premises where there is no need for such conditions. Standardized conditions should be avoided and indeed may be unlawful when they cannot be shown to be appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives on an individual case. There was no evidence before this subcommittee that the premises cannot promote the licensing objectives. In closing up my main submission here, Chair,
Please.
And the committee, this applicant and this DPS are good operators. They've proved on occasions that they can promote the licensing objectives. There's been no enforcement action taken against the premises. There's been no evidence produced by any of the responsible authorities or any local residents to suggest otherwise. The Licensing Act, the guidance, and your licensing policy framework would direct you to granting this application on the terms requested. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I do apologise to anybody who is watching live stream or the recording later for the interruption that we had. It was a technical issue. Right, going on from that, I will ask the members of the subcommittee first. Are there any questions? Councillor Davis?
That's it. Thanks, Chair. I mean, I visited the site. I go through there quite often along the Buckley Road to Mould. Looking at the pub next door, well, very close proximity, appear to be some old people's bungalows. Is that the case? Are they old people's bungalows? If you look at the pub, on the Mould side of the pub, there appear to be a row of old people's bungalows. I don't know whether that's a fact.
Thank you, Councillor Davis. I will just ask Mr. Malcolm Devereux to just clarify that one for Councillor Davies, if that's okay.
Yes, Lee, that's okay.
Yeah.
Malcolm, you'd like to respond to that? You're on mute.
Yes, there is a row of bungalows. There is I presume that either elderly or assisted housing.
Thank you, Malcolm. Yes. So, does that answer your question, Councillor Davies?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Dolphin?
No, I'm fine, Chair. I would like to ask Malcolm later on when he makes his statement.
Malcolm, right, okay.
Thank you.
Chair, I feel the need to just interject that I presented the applicant's case. So, at the risk of fairness and not to mislead anybody, if Councillor Dolphin has any questions, now would be the appropriate time to ask those, because Mr. Devereux will not be providing a statement in this matter.
In that case, can I ask you? I'm going down onto page. Well, it's just below page 27. When the Blue Anchor has put a statement up, I take it's on Facebook. But he's saying something about determined to succeed of the pub and the shack. And he's mentioned that again later on. I'm determined to make the pub and the shack even busier. Can I ask what is the shack?
Thank you, Councillor Duffin. Yeah, the shack is a separate premises, which I believe is a burger venue towards the back of the premises, isn't it? Right, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's effectively a second business which is owned operated by Mr. Devereux, and it's not related to this application.
Okay.
Nice. Right, any other questions on that one? Would Neil Shallard, Pollution Control Officer, do you wish to ask any questions?
I've written some notes, but I'd like to read them out. Is that okay, Chair?
Yes, yeah.
Right, I'll crack on. So I'm Neil Shallard. I'm the Pollution Control Officer. I'm standing.
Mr. Shallard, can I just stop you? I think now is the time for any questions of the applicant, and then I think we're going to move on to you.
I don't have any questions.
Yeah, I classed you as an responsible authority. Very sorry.
He is, but he's entitled, if he wants to ask questions of the applicant.
Yeah. All right, I said, yeah, you've got notes. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you for that advice. Right. I'd still like to ask Neil and to discuss what the situation is with the investigations, should we call them, going on, ongoing investigations. So could I'm just wondering whether I should bring this in at this time so Marsden's could answer this, if there's anything that he can mention in that. So I can't see.
You may do, but before you do, can I ask a question of the applicant before we move on to the responsible authority?
Yeah.
Mr. Shalvis, in relation to what's been referred to as the Facebook post that's been submitted, I hope you've seen that within the bundle.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of background about that? I don't know anything about it, and it seems out of place in the bundle. Have you any instructions that you can inform us about what that relates to?
Yes, it's not a document that we've provided. So I just want to clarify that. I understand that there was some issues with some customers previously regarding to that, and I think that Mr. Devereux would probably say that this was it could have been better placed. I think was this post, but I think he's basically saying that it was a response to some complaints that were unjustified against the premises on an unrelated matter. It doesn't relate to this application or anything else. And I think it was out of frustration that he posted it. But he was basically saying that people that were making like ill-informed complaints about the premises that will not deter him, and that he will keep going on and promoting the licensing objectives and running a successful business for the community.
Thank you, Chair. That's the only question I have. If you wish to move on to Mr. Shallard now and hear his representations.
Yeah, Mr. Shallard, if you'd like to continue.
Sure. So good morning. I'm Neil Shallard, Pollution Control Officer with Environmental Health. I'm standing in for Martin Kirby, who wrote the representative email for Environmental Health. So I'm not Martin Kirby. He has been summoned to Magistrates Court on another case this morning. So I am standing in for Martin.
Right, thank you, Neil. That's that confusion cleared up.
Good. I've been looking at the recent complaint history, and in 2024 there were official complaints in May and July of that month when a neighbour made official complaints, and a log sheet was sent to the complainant to substantiate any further incidents. This is standard practice when we get an official complaint. They have 8 weeks in which to return a log sheet, and if the log sheet returned, an officer is assigned to the case. At the same time, when we send a log sheet, we also send an advisory letter / warning to the licensee.
Yeah.
So these complaints in 2024 related to loud amplified music from the premises. And the harm or the impact was described as cannot sleep in the bedroom. So it was disrupting sleep. So the amplification sound level was disrupting sleep. One log sheet was returned, but only had one entry. And we didn't feel at that time that it justified it any further enforcement. So the case was closed. So turning to 2025, we actually received a complaint about cooking odour, believe it or not, from the premises in August 2025. An odour-like noise can be a statutory nuisance, so we sent out an advisory letter to the pub again, and also a log sheet to the complainant.
Sorry, I need to interject there. There's no reference in a representation about any odour complaints or anything like that. So this is new information which is not part of the representation.
If I could
Jarvis is correct. If the responsible authority has made representations, they have to stick to what is in the representation, which just relates to noise.
Sure. So if I just carry on, a log sheet was returned, but with entries for noise. So that's why I've explained it in that context.
That's fair enough.
So just to avoid any confusion, the log sheet was returned with entries for noise-related incidents. So a new letter was then sent out to the premises on the 9th of October, because on the log sheet, the complainant had raised noise as an issue and not odour. So that's I'm just explaining that.
Yeah.
When we write to the premises, we say that monitoring involving the use of technology may occur, but doesn't say when. So we don't give the dates or the times when we may put noise monitoring equipment in. So we sent this new warning letter on the 9th of October, and a further consolidated log sheet was received back from the complainant on the 4th of December. So on this log sheet returned to us, there were 8 incidents of alleged nuisance, or alleged noise nuisance. I've got the dates and times here. We've got Friday the 12th of September, Thursday the 18th of September, and there were 5 dates in October: 6th, 7th, 20th, 21st, and 24th of October. And there was this date in December of 3rd of December. The times were, some of these times when the complainant alleged there was nuisance were after 11 o'clock. I'm just looking here. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 times when it was alleged there was noise after midnight. The noise was described as non-stop, and the effect it was allegedly having was on the complainant was it was disrupting sleep. He can't sleep in the bedroom, could not sleep. So that was the impact that this nuisance was having, allegedly. Following the incident on the 3rd of December, which is the one that we've just heard about, was started at 2 in the morning and finished at 05:30 a.m. My colleague Martin phoned the premises on the 5th of December to discuss, and I think Martin told me that the licensee denied that this had occurred. Noise monitoring equipment, so that's the council's equipment, was installed in the bedroom of the complainant on the 10th of December for a week. I actually accompanied Martin to collect the equipment, to see the context, see the bedroom, see see the complainant's property in relation to the pub. But at this stage, say Martin is still the case officer, as I'm standing in for him today. But I have been to the complainant's property. So there's no recorded evidence of incidents of loud amplified music on the council's calibrated noise monitoring equipment. So we installed it, we leave it in for a week, and there was no evidence. There was no recorded evidence. So as we were leading up to the Christmas period, we explained to the complainant that they may want to use a noise app on a smartphone over the Christmas period to collect any evidence and submit that to the council. The council is a signatory to the noise app on a smartphone, and we explained how to download the noise app. And the complainant was happy that he could use that as a mechanism to get any evidence of incidents over the Christmas period. When we went back to collect it, as I say, there's no evidence on the council's equipment, and we've not had any noise app recordings, audio recordings submitted over the festive period. None at all. So we've got no evidence at the moment. So that's where we are in terms of evidence base. We've got allegations. We haven't substantiated it, and I can't tell you what level the music is being played at, if indeed it is being played at those hours, and if it is it actually breaking out of the premises. Notwithstanding that, the pollution control team do not support this variation at the current time due to allegations of nuisance made in September, October, and the incident in December. We do not support the variation, as it would allow live and recorded after 11 o'clock on weekdays and so 1 o'clock Friday and Saturday, with the risk that this could cause potential noise pollution to this resident and other residents of those bungalows. As you know, Chair, in law, after 11 o'clock, it's classed as night time, and the expectation by neighbours, quite reasonably, is that they should want to sleep. And sleep disturbance is something we take very, very seriously, or allegations of sleep disturbance we take very seriously as a team. We have a legal duty to investigate complaints. This team has not been party or had any engagement during the consultation period in terms of a noise assessment report for the premises. They've not brought forward any scheme of sound insulation or any sort of noise mitigation that may abate or pacify the neighbours. So we're not satisfied or fully confident they could operate the extra hours with potentially causing a noise nuisance. The applicant has not suggested the use of a noise limiting device, for example, within the premises, which could be used if they're not using one at the moment. I haven't been inside the premises. I must be frank about that. As you know, we have to take noise complaints, allegations very seriously, and the harm that noise very quickly manifests. But we've just not had that level of engagement we feel we could have had to give us the confidence that these extra hours are not going to potentially cause nuisance. So for that reasons, we are opposed to extending those hours at the current time. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Neil. Have we any questions to ask Neil? Councillor Ron Davis, anything?
No, I don't think so, Chairman. I would have thought that this resident, he's the only complainant, and he's 74. I would suggest that he maybe lives in one of those bungalows, which I highlighted. Yeah. Have we received any other complaints?
Neil?
We've not received any other complaints, but we believe there may be other people who are sitting on their hands, as it were, in those
All right,
bungalows.
I have to interject there. That's speculated. We can't be going on that. The question was, has there been any complaints? And I think Mr. Shellad has answered that, saying no, there hasn't been any. He has no ability to actually say whether or not anyone else is potentially going to complain or not.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Rosetta, have you, Councillor Dolphin, have you any questions? Thanks for that, Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just, you said that you went to the property, Neil. Can I ask how close is the property to the pub?
In my opinion, it's very close. When you walk through, it's single story, walk through to the yard, and then there's a path separating it. So it's close. It's a matter of I hadn't measured it, but I would imagine it's less than 5 meters. It's close.
Okay. Can I also ask then, Chair, is the noise that's coming from the pub due to the doors being open or the windows being open, so emitting the music to come through that way, and would close the doors and the windows and things, keep that noise within the premises, in your opinion?
It's a good question. I didn't see any windows on the facade that is facing the complainant's property. There weren't any obvious doors or windows on that facade. So
right, just something else. Thank you for that, Rosetta. Thank you, Neil. Mr. Pomeroy or Mrs. Round, would you like to ask any questions?
Hi, yeah. I just want to clarify that my mum and dad, which is Mr. Peter Pomeroy and Susan Pomeroy, they live really close to the pub. They live in the elderly bungalows. They are friends with a number of the neighbours who are
I'm sorry, can I just pause you? You will get an opportunity to explain anything you want to.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the councillor is just asking you if you have any questions for Mr. Shelland before we move on to you.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Oh, right, okay then. Yeah. I haven't got any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
And Chair, does the applicant have any questions of Mr. Shellard?
I was just about to say that. Mr. Chalmers?
Thank you, Chair. Just one question to Mr. Shellard. Just in terms of the complaints process that he's quite detailedly described, does he feel that that's been followed accurately by his officers?
Yes.
That's all. That's the only question I have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, Catherine, have you got any questions to ask?
No, thank you, Chair.
Right, I will ask Mr. Pomeroy or Emma if she would like to put her representations forward. Would that be appropriate time, Catherine, do you think?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you.
Hi. I just wanted to speak because I know everyone's commenting about the elderly properties next door. They are really, really close, and that's the reasoning why it's causing a lot of anxiety to my parents and also to other residents. I know that they haven't come forward, but they have had discussions, but they've been too, because they're elderly, they've been too anxious about coming forward to make a complaint because they don't have any problems, going forward, if you know what I mean. But I know that if the license did increase, it is going to affect my mum and dad completely, because they're not going to be able to sleep. It's going to cause more stress and anxiety. It's just going to cause a lot of problems, really. And I know you did mention something about Facebook and also about past things that have happened with the pub, but that was 3 years ago. And even if they didn't get bored, obviously, they even if it was another pub or any premises that were right close to them where they live at the moment, it would still cause undue stress with the noise that's happening, because I know that they haven't had evidence with recordings and stuff, but they're still having to live through that. And I know anyone else that is in this meeting, if they were living next door to noise that's after 11 o'clock or even early hours in the morning, you would be distressed and upset about that, because you wouldn't be able to cope with not having any sleep. Because obviously my dad's 73, my mum's 67, and 74, sorry. You know, it's not fair, really, because they're retired. They should be enjoying their retirement. They shouldn't have to deal with having stress every single day, or especially at the weekends with it being so loud. So I just thought I'd put that forward.
Right, thank you for that. Mr. Shallen, have you got anything else to add? Okay.
Sorry, Chair, was that for me?
Yeah.
No, nothing more to add, sir.
Nothing more to add. No. Mr. Shelby, anything to add?
Is this my closing remarks, Chair? I just want to be
basically
clear.
Yes.
I think, Mr. Davis, before we move on, sorry, Councillor, does any of the members have any questions for Ms. Rand and Mr. Pomeroy?
Right. Yeah, go on.
Can I ask, Chair?
Yes, certainly.
I'm going to ask you, Emma, as you're speaking on behalf of your father. Is the noise coming from within the building itself? So is it that loud that it's emanating from within inside the building?
Yes, it is. And also there's they've extended the beer garden, so there's like a fence around it. And there's been spotlights put in, so they're using the outside as well as the inside. So there's music and televisions outside as well. So the noise isn't just inside the building. It's coming from both. So
that's what I wanted to know. Have they put speakers or whatever outside? So that is then, I can then understand how the noise would be louder. I was trying to understand if it was just coming from within the building, how that was extending. So
there's also the shack that's backs right onto my mum and dad's back garden. There's the pathway in between, but that's also it's like it's a shack, but it's also like a shed, if you get what I mean, that they're cooking in. So that's causing a lot of noise as well. So and that's right. Honestly, if you were there in the car park or in my mum and dad's back garden, you'd see that how close it is to the proximity of their bungalow. So, and it's with even the other residents as well. They're right next to there. So it's just unfair for the residents, with them being that close and it being that noisy. So
okay, thank you, Emma. Chair, can I ask Lee a question at this stage?
Lee?
Catherine?
For the applicant, do you mean? Sorry, Councillor Dolphin.
Yes.
The time has really passed for that because they gave their representations at the beginning, but they do have a right to give a closing remark. So it may be that they address whatever questions have been raised during that.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to know whether there could be something put within this that says any music and that is to be contained within the building itself. and not be extended outside. I just wanted to know that. That's fine. Thank you, Chair.
Can I just ask advice on this, Catherine, please?
Yes, Chair.
No, that's performance of dance. So some of these, I'm looking for where it was now. Everything that's been applied for that I can see has been asked for indoors. Whether it be recorded music, live music. So them speakers would have to be removed, wouldn't they, if they in the beer garden? Not necessarily during daytime hours. I'm just wondering, because there's no box being ticked.
Yes,
Recorded
the
music is
application
indoors. Sorry?
at section F ticks for indoors.
Yeah, section F is indoors.
And in section E.
Yeah, both indoors. They are both indoors.
They are.
So that should not be amplified outside, should it? It should not be.
Not within the licensable hours.
No. Right. Okay, so we know where we are on that one.
So sorry, Chair, just a very quick one. I might be out of order asking you, but the shack reference to, obviously, maybe sells burgers and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Does that need, or does it have planning permission?
Catherine, can you advise on that one?
No information has been produced in relation to the shack because the application is only in relation to the Blue Anchor itself.
Yeah.
And we've been told that's a separate entity.
That's a good question, that, Ron, to be honest. But we're not actually dealing with that situation at the moment. That'll be for another investigation. But yeah, good question. Both good questions there. Thank you. Right, Mr. Shelvis, if you would like to close on this.
Thank you, Chair. I won't be as long this time. So
no, you won't.
This is a good applicant, and this is a good DPS. The application needs to be considered on its own merits, which, as I've stated before, is an evidence-based exercise. There's no evidence produced by the residents to suggest that there's an ongoing problem at the premises, and their representations do not detail any specific instances where they have reported and successfully been substantiated of any allegations of that. Upon allegations being received, the appropriate authority that deals with issues of noise, your environmental health team, has acknowledged those allegations, filed them, run them through the due process of their complaints handling procedure, followed it through to the latter, and the outcome of that being no case to action here. There's not been any evidence obtained through the due process conducted by the responsible authority that deals with enforcement matters of noise complaints or noise nuisance in terms of licensing matters. The police have no concerns with this application, and we know that because they've not raised any representations in terms of this application. The applicant has proved to you on 3 occasions that they can promote the licensing objectives to the hours or to those similar to those requested, and can do so without the need of any enforcement action or any guidance or any assistance from local authorities. You have a premises which has been run well and in promotions of the licensing objectives for over a decade without any enforcement action taken against it. You have a DPS that has been running the premises again in promotion of the licensing objectives with no enforcement action taken against their personal license either. The community welcomes this application and supports the DPS. The Licensing Act, the guidance and the framework are all promotive pieces of legislation, guidance and government issued documentation. They seek to reward merits. On balance, the evidence before this subcommittee indicates multiple reasons why this application should be granted and that the applicant and the DPS can run this premises on the terms requested in full promotion of the licensing objectives. The responsible authorities, or most of the responsible authorities, I should say, are prepared to place their faith in the applicant and the DPS, and the only objecting responsible authority cannot produce any evidence to suggest why it shouldn't. We would ask that this committee follow the faith expressed and indicated by the responsible authorities that haven't objected to this application and grant this application on the terms requested. We would also invite this licensing subcommittee to follow the government issued framework and support merit and also support well-run, responsible premises as they grow to thrive and promote the nighttime economy in this local community. That's all from me. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that. I will now call to go. We'll now ask Maureen to put the attendees apart from myself, Councillor Davis, Councillor Dolphin and Catherine Ravenscroft. If they will go into the lobby, we will take time to make our decision.
So before Ms Potter does that, can I just ask if anybody has any objections to Rachel Hughes also being in the private determination?
Sorry, Rachel.
Yes.
She's a solicitor for the council, but she's just observing today. She won't take any part, of course, in the decision.
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
No objection from the applicant.
Thank you, Chair. I've just stopped the live streaming and I'll put the attendees that are not present at the decision discussions into the waiting room now. It'll just take a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Now, Chair, is yourself, Councillor Dolphin, Councillor Davis, Rachel and Catherine Ravenscroft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has the live stream been stopped on this? I've still got a notice on the bottom. This meeting's being live streamed.
I've stopped the live streaming. It might just take a few minutes, but it has stopped. I'll just check. It's still being recorded at the moment, Chair. That's the recording, not the live streaming.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
I can let the recording run. It doesn't go anywhere. If you prefer me to stop it, I can stop it.
Okay.
I think it should be stopped, Chair.
I think it's stop it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please, if you would.
Stop
Maureen,
it, Chair.
Yeah.
And can I ask, do we know